And beginning with the first, St. Catharines Roma, their first appearance in a divisional final in the women's division since the OPL3/League 2 was created, dating even to the Ontario Reserves Division days. No team has ever finished a season invincible. Roma has a chance to do that with a win here tonight and gain promotion into the second division of Ontario soccer. 14 wins, 1 draw, 40 out of 42 points they had in the regular season. And standing in their way, Pickering FC, the second team for their club in the women's division, looking for what would be theoretically joining their first team and also winning promotion with a win tonight. With the OPL's developmental regulations, the promotion could be revoked, but it would be an incredible feat nonetheless to have both sides finish the season on top. Their first team currently sitting in the second division, 11 points clear and on their way to be promoted to the top division in the OPL. For their second team, a second place finish with 34 points and a tight win on penalties to get themselves here to the final against the first place finishing Woodbridge, who were invincible 14-0, and they were handed their first loss earlier this week. Now the host for this evening, the Zanction Automotive Center, formerly known as the Ontario Soccer Center, who has been the destination for the top games in the province for over 2 decades. Home of the powerhouse Humber Hawks, program who has had countless OCAA and CCAA titles in recent years. My name is Noel Vogel. Thanks for tuning in here and watching the OPL live on YouTube. And we're just moments away from kickoff. And now we'll name the starting lineups, beginning with St. Catharines Roma, their captain, their goalie, who has been their backbone of what has been an incredible defensive showing from them all season long. Number 25, Emma Hendry, and Jenna Paris will start in the front line. Cassie Battaglini, as well as Haley Lavarias, Ariana Zumpeno, Mia Di Pasquale, Kate Smythe, Demi Marudis, Maria Fusillo, Sarah Walsh, and Maya McLean. Head coach Francesco Carriero, in his second season with St. Catharines, has got his team where he wanted to be last year. They just fell short getting into that promotion playoff match, but now they have a chance to get into the second division with a win tonight. The starting 11 for Francis Etienne and Pickering FC. London Thornton will start in goal. Sophia Woods, Isabella Cardinal, as well as Mackenzie Scott, Jasmine Marias, as well as Bleda Beto, Josie Jones, Ashlyn Doyle, Elizabeth McConnell, and Cassandra Martin, who will captain her side. And rounding out the starting 11 is Riley Bertram. Windy conditions tonight. We're expecting a little bit of sprinkles of rain with possibility of more downpour as we had earlier today in the southern part of Ontario. We're here in Vaughan for the OPL3 final. Who will lift the trophy here tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Pickering in the white jerseys, Roma sporting the red. And Pickering will be the ones to kick things off as we're just moments away. So here we go. And right off the jump, Pickering giving up possession. A team throughout the 2026 season in St. Catharines who love to hold the ball. They're one of the offensive powerhouses. 47 goals in the regular season they scored. 3 of their top scorers within the top 20 in scoring this season. And also the number 1 scorer in Demi Marudis, who set the OPL3 scoring record. 21 goals she's had so far in 12 matches this campaign, 20 in the regular season. She's played and scored in every single game this year for St. Catharines in her first year with Roma after coming from Oakville. Last touch off a St. Catharines player will be a throw-in for Pickering. Scott looking into the corner. And now it's the captain trying to hold off Battaglini, who was on her back. With Martin getting dispossessed. Smythe able to knock it down. Smythe trying to find Paris, who was making a run behind Mackenzie Scott, but Pickering will take back possession inside their own third. Here's Bertram. Opens up to now find Jones. Her ball behind was cut out by Fusillo. Lavarias, one of the experienced players on this Roma squad. A lot of new and exciting talent they brought in this year after failing to win promotion last season. They really retooled their entire lineup, and it has worked. It's got them to the place they wanted to be, a 5-1 win in the semifinal. It was a lot more convincing compared to how Pickering found themselves here this evening after they took down Simcoe County at home. Walsh's throw to the feet of Parrish. He tried to flick over. And Smythe nodding it just out of bounds. This season has really put the women's program for Pickering on the map with how successful both their first and second team have been this year. It's been a dominating performance in the league for their first team in OPL2. 47 points already on the season, and well on their way to, for their sake, hopefully finding promotion into the top division. Ball played in behind looking for Cassandra Martin, but Fusillo got in the way and was able to win the throw as well. Only 2 losses for them in the regular season this year, Pickering, and again with the development regulations, may not even get the promotion, but they'll want to lift that OPL3 trophy and show that they were the best team in the division this season. McLean trying to turn, but she was dispossessed by Josie Jones, and now she's got by Battaglini. She'll go alone, and the save made by Hendry, just getting fingertips on it. We'll have the first corner of the match, and it will be for Pickering. Just a slip up in possession for Roma, and it almost created a chance on the counter. And now Cassandra Martin will try and whip one in here. The in-swinging corner came towards the front post. Jones was looking to flick it on, but it went back out to the corner now for Martin. Looked like she possibly mishit it. A effort from the edge of the box from McConnell was well wide of the goal. McConnell, one of the 4 in the back line for Pickering. Her and Ashlyn Doyle have been the 2 main center backs for them this season. McConnell just finishing her second season at Ontario Tech in the fall of 2025. Will be returning there for her junior year. Pickering, Ontario native, has scored 2 goals this season. Scott looking down the line. Martin able to create enough space from Di Pasquale to find now Cardinal. McConnell up the middle for Jones. Her touch just able to get it out of her feet enough. And now the rain's starting to fall here in Vaughan this evening. Scott looking down the line again, but Martin and her were not on the same page on that occasion. He'll come all the way into the penalty area of Emma Hendry, and she will slow things down here for Roma, who haven't had much of the ball in these first 5 minutes. They've certainly brought their supporting cast over on the far side in the stands, and flags and drums, and trying to be that 12th player on the field for St. Catharines. Here's Smythe. Able to win the throw. The pass looking for Paris. Cleared away by Pickering. It was helped on by Martin. Jones trying to keep it away from Lavarias. High ball bouncing, a battle between Marutis that time, as well as Bertram. Now Fusillo in possession. Here's the OPL3 goal-scoring leader, Demi Marutis. Now Lavarias couldn't quite get the touch under her spell. Fusillo intercepts. McLean. Mataglini stepping up and could create a gap in between, and Martin trying to turn away, but Mataglini did really well that time to recover and get back to win that ball. It's the first final for this program in the women's side for St. Catharines Roma, just recently entering the Ontario semi-pro level. Of course, their men's team was just before them, and they're playing in the top division this year as well with their OPL3 side. The women's just having their first team as they currently play in OPL3. Smythe. Pass was intercepted that time by Cardinal, and again, Pickering will start with their back four. McConnell looking long into the winds and died down, but Martin maybe a chance to play in behind. Challenge coming across. It was Beto who was looking to get the touch around Battaglini. First touch for London Thornton. In between the sticks for Pickering. She's played in 10 games this season. She's been the main #1 this year. 8 wins on the year, 6 clean sheets. Pickering, one of the best defensive teams in the Northeast Division this year. Great footwork to get around the defender in Fusillo. Now a chance for Murray to get a ball in, but it was blocked by Battaglini. Another corner for Pickering. They've sustained more of the pressure so far in these first 9 minutes of play. Martin will try again, this time from the opposite corner. A low one in towards the front post. Jones trying to get body position, but again cleared out for another corner. Roma on their heels in these last few minutes, needing to get out of their own third. Pickering trying to take advantage of this early offensive pressure they've had. Another corner whipped in, low towards the 6-yard area. Was cleared out this time for a throw. To the feet of Jones. First time ball cut out by Fusillo, but it came into a dangerous position for Beto. Lavari has a chance to clear. She didn't get it much further outside the box. Now Scott looking to cut inside, and she's won another corner for Pickering. 4th of the game so far. They haven't really been able to create any chances directly off them, however. Try a new corner taker this time. It will be Isabella Cardinale, the 17-year-old Toronto, Ontario native. And whipped high towards the hands of Hendry, and she's able to claim it cleanly. And now looking to spring Marutis. On the near side touchline, able to keep it in. Lots of space to cut into. This now finds Zumpeno, the return feed. Marutis, first time ball. Smythe just had to hold her run. Staying on side, she has it inside the far corner now. Smythe will look to just go back as Roma now finally getting possession in the final third. Walsh will swing at a ball. All alone inside, McLean a chance. Hits the post and the chance in front, Zumpeno. Marutis couldn't get it away, and it's cleared by Pickering. Best chance of the first half so far as Roma finds the woodwork. Maya McLean left all alone, and she has been so good in front of goal these past few games for St. Catharines. She's had 2 or more goals in her last 4 matches this season. 9 on the year so far. She scored in the semifinal. Lavarias tried to go into the feet that time of Zumpano, but it was in between 2 Roma players. Now Paris trying to use her pace on the outside. She's cut off by Scott, and it's going to be a last touch off the Roma forward, a Pickering throw. Well, now Roma pushing back. They've gained a little momentum now off that chance. And Niagara Falls, Ontario native Maya McLean just missing off the right post. And she's got a chance inside the penalty area again, but that one always rising. McLean, a healthy career in the NCAA Division I. She played 4 seasons at Niagara University, 73 caps for the side just across the border. And her alongside the other front 3 for Roma this year have been deadly. And a chance here for Zumpano, who tried to be played in by Smythe, and smothering that ball is London Thornton. Another young player in goal, 17. Oshawa, Ontario native, but has been so good this year for Pickering and has been the #1 choice throughout the season. Helped with that semifinal win. Able to do it on penalties against Woodbridge away from home. Battaglini just getting in between body and ball, and will just clear it out for a throw. Flicked on by Murray, and now cleared out. Smythe intercepted by Scott. Her touch a little too far away, and Walsh able to spring Paris on the far right wing side. Bodies entering the box now for St. Catharines. Paris just looking for any kind of room to get a delivery in, but it was well defended that time by Ashlyn Doyle. Doyle committed to Troy University in Division I NCAA for next season. She had missed a lot of the year, made her season debut back on July 6th. She's only played in 3 games so far. This makes it her 3rd start of the season. She played all 90 minutes in the semifinal. Toronto, Ontario native. Roma with the throw in the corner. Fusillo getting it back. Her pass just not connecting with Marutis, and it's turned right back over to Pickering. McLean able to turn just enough to find Marutis. Challenge finds the feet of Zumpano. Lavarias. Marutis was calling for it as she made a run in towards the area. Zumpano, now Fusillo. Left-footed cross came in, but an easy clear that time for Pickering, and now Jones picks it up in space, but Fusillo able to get back and win it for St. Catharines. And a ball played in behind was a little too hard for Marutis as it runs out for a goal kick. Now Pickering will go short out of the back. As here's Cardinale now with McConnell. Looking long towards the feet of Jasmine Murray, but it's a offside. As a flag up on the near side. Smythe tried to bring that long ball down from Battaglini, and now Murray, a challenge coming in from Fusillo. Go out for a Pickering throw. A weekend full of finals, as yesterday we saw the Men's League 3, OPL3, ending yesterday as it was Woodbridge who won the final against the Borough's second team, a 2-0 victory. And what was an incredible performance from the Strikers and their second team. Pickering able to clear. It was offside as delayed flag going up on the far side. Woodbridge's captain, Ivan Nechiporak, was the one who came away with the MVP yesterday. Pickering looking long once more. They find the feet of Murray. Her touch just a little too far away, allowed for Fusillo to head out of play. Ball played looking for Jones, but she couldn't quite bring it down. That wind blowing into the side of Pickering in this first half. And we've seen for either side how that's affected the flight of the ball in this first 20 minutes. We stay a 0-0 here in the OPL3 finals. St. Catharines Roma looking to get promoted for the first time with their women's division team, but Zumpeno was looking to get away, but she was stopped in her tracks by McConnell. Touch a little too far. Is Walsh able to scoop it up? Paris will let it run, and St. Catharines will take the throw. Sarah Walsh getting the start tonight. She didn't play in the semifinal game at home in that 5-1 win. She started the previous 3 matches, often playing towards halftime and being replaced for the second half of play. Getting set for her 3rd season at Niagara College. Port Colborne, Ontario native. She usually playing on that right back position, but can also get 4. 3 OCAA goals in her time with NC. Cleared away by Scott. Now here is Walsh on the ball. Looking to cross into a dangerous area. She was able to find McLean on that ball earlier, which gave her what was the best chance so far through 20 minutes, with her just finding the outside of the woodwork. Tried to do it once more, but it was better defended that time by Pickering. Here's Woods. It's been quiet to start this game, has not had a lot of the ball, and Zumpeno has stripped O'Connell. Now back in front, Paris slots it, and Roma takes a 1-0 lead early. A mistake in the back from McConnell proves costly as Zumpeno able to find her teammate in Jenna Paris, who all alone, cool in front of goal, opens the scoring here in the OPL3 Women's Final. Zumpano with 11 goals this season in now 13 matches played, but played the assister on that goal and gets her teammate in Jenna Paris her 9th of the campaign. And Roma scoring first. The last time Roma lost a match when scoring first was May 21st of 2025. It's been over a year worth of play since they have fallen in a match after taking the lead. Can they keep that streak going and lift the trophy? There's still lots of time to play. And to be fair, Pickering was the better side for the first 10 minutes, but it was that chance for McLean that really changed the tide and has given Roma now all the momentum in this first half. A strong win by Lavarias in midfield. Now Marudas trying to cut back onto that favored right. Ball cross looking for Paris at the back post, but was too far away from her and will just run out for a goal kick. And for this season, St. Catharines has scored 11 times. They've scored the first goal. And when they have, they are 11-0 in 2026. A team that likes to get on the front foot early and score lots have got the first goal here tonight. It's now whether they can extend that lead and hold on. Pickering now going to have to come back from behind, which they have done before. Scott looking to retrieve. She'll leave it for McConnell, and she'll go all the way back for London Thornton. Jones looking to chase after that ball behind. Fusillo on the turn now finds McLean, but her touch errant and out of play. Jones almost did really well that time, but just ran out of room on the touchline. In that semifinal match, it was actually Pickering who took the lead against Woodbridge and weren't able to hold on, but they come out victorious on penalties. And they'll have to try and flip the script here tonight to get back even with St. Catharines, who hold a 1-0 lead 25 minutes in. And now Smythe might be able to get in behind here, racing across and throwing in a challenge. And a little bit late it was. First card, first booking will head to Pickering. And it's going to be Ashlyn Doyle in the book. Smythe had just enough pace and time to get the first touch on that ball and escaped away from the initial challenge, but it got taken down in the aftermath. And now Roma's got a strong setup here on the right-hand side of the field with Maya McLean standing over this free kick. For St. Catharines, Robo Wolves standing inside the penalty area. Again, with that wind on their back, it's difficult even sometimes for the goalkeepers to judge those balls. But this one was straight into the hands, but skipping through the gloves of Thornton. Now Fusillo trying to go back into a dangerous area. Thornton was not able to keep it in play, and Roma's going to get their first corner. That's another factor with this sprinkling of rain, as it's tough for the keepers to get any kind of grip on that ball, and you could see Thornton that time unable to bring it under her spell, and it turned into a corner. Marutis in swinger. It's a dangerous ball towards the back post. Paris was waiting. And just getting the final flick on it, I believe, was Mackenzie Scott, which was, it might be probably the best defensive play this first half so far. Might have just saved a goal with Paris looming in on goal, but she does give up the corner. Fusillo now stands on it on the other side. They'll play short. Marutis couldn't get by Beto. She's able to dispossess and win it back. Fusillo, chance to cross into the area, was cleared away that time by Murray. Another ball coming in, Zumpano trying to get in front, and it's going to be another corner for St. Catharines. Corners through the first 15 minutes were 4-0 for Pickering, and now 3 straight corners for Roma as they keep the pressure on after taking the lead. Fusillo, wasteful corner as that one goes out behind the goal line. It's Jenna Parrish's goal in the 22nd minute that divides these two teams. We're past the halfway point now of the first half. Lavarias sliding in with a challenge and stopping any kind of forward move from Pickering. Roma trying to regroup. That ball just got past Murray. And Roma able to win the throw off Lavarias. Fusillo is watched closely there by Murray, headed out of bounds by Sophia Woods. Woods here tonight, actually making her debut with the second team for Pickering. She spent most of her time training with the first team as well as with the U20s this year. She hasn't played much, but she's able to find her captain in Martin now on the wing. And coming off of Battaglini, it's going to be a corner throw-in for Pickering. Woods just a few years ago was competing in the PDP U15 women's division, playing with North Toronto. She's been around high-level soccer and certainly up for the performance in her first start with the OPL2 side here tonight. Martin trying to escape away from the challenge, and McLean, who looked to go on the switch for Paris. It just slipped, that ball coming up short. Walsh in a race this time with Beto. Beto able to get the better of Sarah Walsh this time. Great footwork. Now can she find the delivery? Martin was waiting, was put across the goal, and oh no, a blunder in front of the net. Fusillo has scored an own goal, and we're tied at 1. A terribly unfortunate scenario for the St. Catharines left back. Has in a really tough position in front of goal. That ball just scraping across the goal line. And in attempts to clear, has put it inside of her own goal. Pickering does not care how it crosses the line as long as they get back into this match, and they have. Now Fleury, the last 3 minutes, Pickering just putting on the pressure against St. Catharines. It's really been a back and forth game here in this first half, and I feel like well worthy to be this close. Here's Murray. Trying to skip away from the challenge. McLean just catching her late. The foul called by head referee Daniel Jacob. So we talk about the high success Roma has had when scoring first. They've now let one back, and we're all knotted up just as we started here tonight. Fusillo, pressure on her back. She's able to win the free kick on the challenge from Woods. Roma will play out of their final third. McLean now across for Di Pasquale. Thought it down, and Roma unable to win the second ball that time. Murray, Marutis coming back. And did really well that time for St. Catharines as Pickering had numbers moving forward. Smythe dispossessed once more. Paris took a challenge from the back, but had lost the ball out of play. It'll be a Pickering throw. Last touch off Pickering. Paris looking to go quickly as Zumpeno was making a diagonal run across. Paris able to continue moving forward with Roma in possession. Here's Walsh. Cross came into the edge of the area and was cleared just as far as Marutis. And her touch around the challenge of Bertram was too far away from her to keep it under her spell. It'll go out for a goal kick. McConnell has given it away again. McLean with it. Trying to slide it through. Zumpeno was turned around. Didn't really find the angle. Fusillo now finds Smythe. Tate Smythe will turn back. Walsh. Trying to look for the feet of Paris, but that pass was intercepted. Scott away from pressure. Now can she pick out the pass? She's found Martin. First time to Beto. And Daniel Jacobs will bring this one back. A late foul as he's looking to play advantage for Pickering. Just under 10 minutes still to play in the first 45. We're tied at 1 after Roma took the lead just after the 20-minute mark. Pickering able to get one back. Jones, a spinning touch away, trying to find Martin. Martin still with possession. Jones a chance to keep it in play. Josie Jones still on it. Martin. Now back for Woods. Roma doing a good job to force Pickering out of their final third, but they found the space in behind, but a pass a little too far for Jones to catch up to. Jones has dispossessed McLean. Now one-on-one with Battaglini, trying to find a delivery into the area. Deep pass Squale away. Woods couldn't corral it at her feet outside the box. Going down is Cardinal, no call. Pickering not happy about it. Smythe playing over the top. Keeper out of the goal. And it was just over the bar from Demi Marutis. Was ambitious, but definitely worth the try, as London Thornton had to come out to clear that ball. Zumpeno was in behind the final back four for Pickering, and Marutis had just saw the sight of goal and was willing to give it a look. Deep pass Squale putting in a strong challenge and winning it back for Roma. Last touch off of St. Catharines. It's going to be a Pickering throw on the far side. Roma wanting a foul on the far side. And Paris felt she had got fouled over that time by Cardinal, and they will call it now as the whistle blowing for a free kick. Isabella Cardinal now down over on the far touchline. Slow to get back to her feet, but now walking back towards her final third. Head ref Daniel Jacob just pausing the restart. Now Di Pasquale will stand over the free kick. It's well short of the intended target. Lavarias trying to go back in. Game has started to slow down now between the two teams. It was a fiery 10 minutes in between that first Roma goal and the second of the match, which saw Pickering tie it at 1. Now both teams wanting to get to halftime still even or with the lead, but certainly not trying to concede. Walsh's header forward has found the feet of McLean. Tough one as backtracking was Bertram. Out of her goal comes Thornton again. Marutis able to get it in between her feet. Now Zumpeno. Ball coming across the box, was in behind McLean and was intercepted but not cleared. Jones couldn't keep it away from Kate Smythe. Now Lavarias. Here's Walsh. Her pass intercepted that time by Beto. And now Pickering with a chance to relieve pressure as it's cleared out by Scott. Beto back for Scott. Great work to now find the feet of Cardinal. Beto with her back turn. The challenge by Walsh got it forward for Paris, who's fouled. McLean quickly over to stand on this free kick. We'll see what she can do with it. A floater in towards the edge of the 6 was headed on by Woods and out of play for a corner kick. And Demi Marutis will go over to take it as well as Maria Fusillo. We saw them go short once already. Fusillo, one of the international players, technically playing for St. Catharines, originally from Youngstown, Ohio. Plays just her second season in the NCAA with Point Park. She's got one career goal. We'll see if she can set one up here. In swinging cross towards the front post, but this time confidently claimed by London Thornton. Rolled out to the feet of Bertram. Time for Battaglini to go back for Hendry. Graduate of Brock University after 4 seasons with the Badgers back in 2023. Originally from Sault Ste. Marie, has continued to play in the St. Catharines area. Has not lost a game that she has started in all season. 9-0, 3 clean sheets in 19 OUE games that she played for Brock. She was also able to keep 5 clean sheets, as Beto, with a bit of an unorthodox throw, might have just slipped out of the hands, with the ball certainly picking up moisture with the rain earlier in the match. So they'll call that back. It'll be a St. Catharines throw. Roma will continue to move it up the sideline. Walsh looking for Paris, was headed out by Beto. Now Smythe. Smythe just finishing her second year at Bishop's University. Her alongside Kiara Turchet, who's been the backup goalie for St. Catharines this season, not in the lineup tonight, as Marutis able to win another corner. Maggie Bell was named for St. Catharines this evening with Turchet out. Smythe had a goal in the semifinal, her second of the year. Born and raised in St. Catharines. Dangerous ball again, but tight to the keeper from Marutis, as Thornton able to claim once more. Bouncing ball now finds the feet of Cardinal, who was knocked down. Lavarias in possession. Here's Brock's now. Jenna Paris, her cross towards McLean, who was well outside the box with that header. Taking something quite spectacular to really cause a struggle for Thornton. We're getting indication of 2 added minutes at the end of the 45. Can one team find a breakthrough at the end of halftime? Could be a chance here, just wide for Ariana Zumpano, who had taken a great first touch off that ball from McLean. And on her way down, as she was falling into the challenge of Woods, just dragging it wide left of the post. Zumpano has created a lot of chances in this first half. She set up the first goal. 11 goals on the season, the Niagara Falls, Ontario native. Previously playing for the University of Buffalo in the fall. She just finished her senior year. McConnell backpedaling will go all the way for Thornton, and she'll calmly return the feed as Pickering gets it up for Woods. Woods traveling through green grass, but Fusillo got in the way of that, and will go all the way for Hendry. Her clearance exiting out on the near side. It will be a Pickering throw. Bertram to take. She's been predominantly with U20 this season, previously playing for Whitby FC, just 18 years of age. Another player for Pickering that, with their second team being their developmental side, a lot of young players with a lot of great talent who are either just entering their post-secondary careers or have only started maybe 1 or 2 seasons. And with that ball going out of play, that will be the final whistle of the first half. We've played 45, and we've seen a goal apiece from either team. Roma got things started, something we've seen throughout the year. A team that's gone 11-0 when scoring first this season, but Pickering able to fight back and get one themselves on an own goal from St. Catharines Roma. So we'll head to the halftime break. Still tied up at 1 apiece. Stay tuned here on OPL TV on YouTube. We'll be back for second half action. Don't go anywhere. As the cold rain continues to fall here in Southern Ontario, we welcome you back to the Zanction Automotive Center for the second half of the OPL3 Women's Final. My name is Noel Vogel. Thanks for tuning in here on OPL TV, live on YouTube. After 45, we're still tied up, but at one apiece. It started with St. Catharines and Jenna Paris scoring her 9th of the season to give Roma the lead in the 20th minute. And Pickering, with a ton of pressure, was able to force what turned into be an own goal for Roma and tied things up at 1. Before we get started for the second half of action, we'd like to thank some of our league sponsors, beginning with the Cruyff Institute, educating the future leaders of the soccer industry. Gatorade, hydrate, replenish, refuel. One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. Follow your favorite OPL alumni as they compete in the Canadian Premier League, the TELUS Canadian Championship, and with our Canadian national teams. MSA, delivering the data behind the game. Every men's and women's OPL match is powered by MSA Insights with performance features and data-driven spotlights. Voigt, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball for the OPL. Hummel, the official apparel supplier of the OPL and the Canadian Premier League, as well as Ontario Soccer. So the second half underway, and both head coaches sticking with their 11s, no substitutions at halftime. They liked the way they had gone about their first 45 minutes. And there was struggles for both sides, but also successes for either team. This game really could go either way, especially after that opening goal from Roma. The game really opened up and started to slow down near that back half of the first half before the break. Marudas did well to win possession back, and now she gets the return feed from Zumpano. Assisted the lone goal for St. Catharines in the first half. Got knocked down, able to keep the ball at her feet after getting back up off the turf. Now Fusillo letting it bounce into her path, but she's nudged off the ball this time by Murray. Now to the feet of Martin, just too far in front of her stride. Walsh having it clear, but only came as far as Beto. Long stride as she enters her way into the area, but the shot was always going wide. And we'll go out for a goal kick. If we remain tied through 90 minutes, we'll head to extra time, and if we're still stuck, we'll go to a penalty shootout. Needing a winner here tonight. Someone will be crowned the OPL3 Women's Champion. A chance at promotion. Here's Jones. Beto. Lackluster start in possession to begin the second half for Roma. They've given it away a couple times in dangerous areas, but they win it back here. Here's McLean looking forward. He's trying to pick out Paris, but it was cut out by Scott. Smythe finds the path of McLean. Now to the far side with Marudas. Demi Marudas looking to switch over to Paris. Again, Scott in the way. Walsh, a touch forward. I was looking for Paris, but it was in between both Pickering left-sided defenders. Doyle now with Scott. Again, looking forward for Martin. Di Pasquale knocking it down. Former Brock and Niagara College alumni. Finished her post-secondary career with 2 seasons at Niagara College. McLean, her shot was blocked. Another experienced player that head coach Francesco Carrieto had brought in to shore up that back line. Current Brock University player Battaglini going back for Hendry, but her clearance was won on the first ball by Pickering. Offside flag up on the far side as Josie Jones had came off the shoulder of Battaglini in offside position before picking up that ball. Battaglini and Di Pasquale have logged a lot of minutes this season. Battaglini more of between the two. Over 1,000 minutes she's played this year. Just her first season in the OPL, but has been competing, of course, in the OUA for the past now 3 seasons. with the Brock Badgers. 23 appearances with the school out in St. Catharines, and Smythe looking forward over the top. Zumpeno now chasing after, as backpedaling is Doyle, and she's giving it away. McLean looking from distance, came through the hands and over the goal line. Maya McLean has given Roma a 2-1 lead early in the second half. The pressure on the ball carrier, Doyle wasn't able to get rid of it. And McLean just felt she would have a goal from distance. And it was the right choice in the end. Again, with this weather, the rain coming down, a tough one for Thornton to get pulled down. And you can see the look on her face now, upset with herself, but a difficult position for her, backpedaling with that shot looking to go over top of her head, and was just unable to keep it out of the back of her net. And now it's Roma in the lead. We talked about their success in scoring first. They gave up a goal to tie things up after leading in the first half, and now they've taken back that 1-goal lead. And it's Maya McLean. Again, 4 matches in her last 4 coming into tonight. 8 goals in those games. She scored 2 or more in her last 4 and continues her goal streak here tonight and puts Roma up front. That one was over her head. It was taken down by Marudis. Now Fusillo. Lots of time to find her destination, and it's the foot of Marudis. Now cutting into the inside. Her ball looking for Paris was just misjudged. And Scott not taking any chances. Will clear it out for a throw. And the Ontario Tech Peterborough native Mackenzie Scott. Paris trying to get around her. Scott just clearing out again for another throw. Scott, another player who's played majority this season with the first team in OPL2. She's only played 3 matches. Now 4, has started all 4 in OPL3 play with the Pickering second team. 18 appearances with the OPL2 side. She's had a lot of experience, and she's done very, very well defending Roma's outside attackers this evening. Paris getting the better of her earlier in the game with her first goal. Here's Demi Marudis. And that time was easy for Thornton to get behind. Here's Scott. High bouncing ball. Di Pasquale having to be careful. Pickering will get the throw on the sideline. Played into the feet of Jones. Double team now coming in the corner as he is unable to win the throw. Last touch off of Jones. And you wonder for head coach Francis Etienne if he's able to maybe get a spark off the bench. Just 4 available subs that are not their backup goalkeeper here tonight, compared to the bench of St. Catharines, which has 8 available outfield players, as Martin was a little aggressive in that ball that was coming towards Hendry, and head referee Daniel Jacob making sure that doesn't happen anymore. Here's Walsh, now Paris. Smythe making the overlapping run, and Paris is able to find the feet of her, but Scott got in the way. Paris was dispossessed. Beto towards the sideline. Martin couldn't keep it in. Ball came all the way to Doyle, now up for Cassandra Martin, who was just able to knock it into the path of Jones. Far side looking for Murray, but that ball skipping past her. Jones putting on the pressure, but Taglini just got in front of Martin and forced that ball into the path of Hendry. This time the former Brock keeper will look to go long. Martin had thrown her foot in the way of that kick out of the hands from Hendry. She's already been warned about coming close to the keeper. Daniel Jacob not having anything of it. Beto with the long throw. DePasquale will just let it run out for a goal kick. Pickering getting ready to bring in a substitute in just a moment. And entering the game is going to be Abigail Carlson, 16 years of age. And she's making her first appearance with the OPL3 side. She's played with the first team in 2 matches this season. In their last 2 games that they played on July 26th and just a few days ago on Friday on the 31st. And she'll come in replacing Jasmine Murray, so she'll take over that right wing spot, a like-for-like substitution for Pickering. We'll see if she's able to bring an impact off the bench for head coach Francis Etienne in this match, as they're looking to try and get the tying goal for the second time in this game after Roma took an early second half lead. Here's Marudas. Now McLean, time to turn. Able to find Walsh on the switch. Jenna Paris. Tried to get the cross in, but Scott able to get her body in the way, but it goes out for a corner. First of the second half for St. Catharines. Fusillo will take this corner. The left-footed in-swinger in towards the front post was dangerous, but cleared away by Beto. Now Marudas able to get the touch around the initial defender in Scott, but couldn't get it by Bleda Beto. Toronto, Ontario native. She is quite the versatile player between a makeshift center back as well as an attacker. Played 4 years at Columbia College. Had a first-team call-up back on July 17th. She's mostly been with the second team, playing over 600 minutes this season, making her 11th appearance of the year. Pickering able to clear it out of their own box. Beto in a battle there with Walsh, and safety first as she clears it out for a throw. It's unable to find a teammate. Hold up play by Sumpeno was excellent that time, but Marunas just lost her footing on the turn. Beto now. Ball was looking for Martin, but just too far in front. Di Pasquale back inside her final third. Roma looking to keep the ball here. They have the lead in the second half. They did so in the first. And after that, it was a lot of Pickering who saw the ball, but Roma's done a good job not dropping back after taking the lead. They've continued to apply pressure. Cardinal now back for Ashlyn Doyle. Her ball finds Josie Jones, who tried to let it run through. First touches in an attacking option now for the substitute in Carlson. The ball came all the way to Martin. Was looking to flick it back into the 6-yard area, but it had gone out for a goal kick. So is Pickering to make the first look towards the bench, but St. Catharines looking to make a substitution as well. As it looks as Macy Hellwig getting ready to come on. Fusillo's throw. Came to the feet now of McLean. Fusillo back with it. McLean on it now, rather. Here's Lavarias. Now Walsh. Marudas. Swap wings now, and she has space to drive into, but Beto coming back in relief of Scott to win that ball. But Pickering turning it over once more. Paris. McConnell goes high in the sky. McLean going back towards Sumpeno. Doesn't quite have the height advantage in that matchup. And it's cleared away by Bertram. Sumpeno just hovering over on the end line. Now Paris. Here's McLean. Has the goal that has given Roma the lead. Her ball into an area. Marudas! The parry comes out to the OPL leading goal scorer. And she makes no mistake, slotting it in for St. Catharines, third of the match, and a 2-goal lead. We've played an hour just now, under 30 minutes for Pickering to come back from down 2 now, as Roma inching closer to possibly gaining promotion and winning the OPL3 championship here tonight in Vaughan. Still lots to do. Pickering trying to create a chance right off the ensuing kickoff, but unable to keep it in on the far side was Carlson. And now that changes things big time. A bigger cushion for Roma and a bigger hill to climb for Pickering. Battaglini. Now Paris, her back turn as she looks to take on down the wing and use her pace around Bertram. And she's got by her, was taken down. And Daniel Jacob quick to blow his whistle for a Roma free kick. Paris, a goal in the game. She's been electric out on the wing. She's now gone and switched with Marudas. Hamilton, Ontario native, makes it now 5 goals in her last 4 matches, including playoffs. And the substitution coming now after conceding the goal, as Pickering is going to go to their bench once again, and it's going to be to replace their captain, as Cassandra Martin will exit. She'll hand it off to Josie Jones, who will take the armband for the rest of tonight. It'll be Caitlin Gallo who is going to replace her. Just one appearance in OPL3 this season. She played 16 minutes back on June 29th against North Toronto B in a 2-0 win. She played just on Friday against Pickering, or Tecumseh rather, for Pickering's first team. Handball shouts from Roma as it came up high on Scott. Roma might have had a shout there for a possible penalty, but Daniel Jacob not seeing anything that warrants a spot kick for St. Catharines. How that would have made things even more daunting for Pickering in this game. They might have just got away with one. Ball kick long for the goal kick. Jones coming back deep to collect, and now twisting away is Cardinal. Neat feet for a moment, but taking down Paris did Carlson. The Roma faithful in full effect now that their team has a 2-goal cushion. Their first chance at promotion since their women's team has been implemented into the Ontario Semi-Pro division. They felt with the way they started last season that they had a chance to at least be in promotion playoff contention. Ended up finishing 5th in the Southwest Division. After a bit of struggling form in their last 2 months of the year, they had gone winless in their last 7 matches last season. That's completely changed. Other than in the OPL Cup this year, they're trying to be the first team as Thornwell out of her goal runs right through Paris. And she's going to be booked as well. The only loss, technically, that Roma has had this year, again in the Cup against Tecumseh United, who is a team who regularly playing in OPL2, and a 2-1 loss that began their campaign. Since then, like I mentioned, have not lost a single match. And they're looking to keep their undefeated, invincible season going in league play and playoffs and lift the OPL3 Cup. So now that change will be made for Francesco Carriero as Macy Hellwig will come in. Again, another player brought in to really shore up that back line. St. Catharines native, playing in Division 1 and Tarleton University. Demi Marudas with this free kick into the wall as they do their job well, and now Pickering able to clear only as far as Fusillo. Continuing to battle for it, now high up in the air. Beto plays long, but nobody near the final third for Pickering, and that'll allow Hendry to take it well back inside of her penalty area. Hellwig had joined Roma in late May. She, in Division 1 play, often is playing in a midfield role, but has turned into a makeshift central and outside defenders. She'll take that spot that replaces Sarah Walsh, who was playing in the right back position. So a like for like, we'll keep her in that spot. She started the last 2 matches, including the semifinal, had come off the bench here, though, today. That one is claimed by Thorne, a deep attempt from Paris. Looked like it may have been going wide, but Thorne not taking any chances. Now the substitute for Pickering able to get by Pataglini, and it's drawn a foul deep in St. Catharines territory, as Gallo just able to get that touch before the Roma defender, and she's picked herself up a yellow card. 3rd booking of the match, the first for Roma. Little over 20 minutes still to play. Still lots of time for Pickering if they can get one quick here. Again, if they're able to make it back and tie things up, we'll need a winner, of course, in this final. That'll put us, if it stays tied up, if Pickering can make a comeback, we'll go to extra time with possibility of penalties. The whistle had not gone for the free kick from Doyle. It was not how she had drawn it up anyways, into the single wall of Jenna Paris, who was really just standing there as a kind of just to make sure that Pickering wasn't able to go quickly there, but did a great job in getting in the way. Throw now deep in the corner for Roma. Zumpeno trying to twist away from the load of traffic of Pickering defenders on the far side. Paris had got clipped after Cardinal had gone down. Pickering in possession. Here's Woods. Ball came off a deflection and all the way towards Emma Hendry in goal. The second half really has been dominated by the team in front. Roma has had more of the possession. Pickering have not really been able to control much of the ball. Jones has been quiet in this second half, and she's trying to twist away now from Lavarias. McLean came to help her out. Bertram trying to find Jones, and that pass just disconnected. If Roma's able to hold on, this will mark their first trophy for the women's side and the first promotion, as a win would get them into OPL2 for next season. Hellwig with her first inclusion in the game, able to win it back, and now she's got green grass to run into, looking to play the ball early towards Zumpeno, but it was cut out by Doyle. And now Gallo twisting away from Battaglini. The ball played in behind. Di Pasquale was in great position to intercept. Now Fusillo. Here's McLean. Got it started in the second half for Roma with that first goal to get them back in the lead. Marudas. Has what now gives St. Catharines a 2-goal cushion and continues her streak of form, which has seen her score in every single game this season. 22 goals in 13 appearances for Roma this year. Former Colgate graduate, finishing her D1 career in 2024, and comes back towards what is really her home team, and originally from Niagara-on-the-Lake, but St. Catharines not too far from there. But of course, before that, playing with what was originally known as the Oakville Blue Devils before their name change, and had taken a year off from playing in Ontario soccer. Was brought in by Francesco Catharines, and I'm sure he's very happy with how impactful of a player she's turned out to be. Here's Cardinal. Now Scott. Pickering running another substitution. Smythe that headed that one away from its intended target, but Taglini now with Paris. Jenna Paris just got caught up with that second defender coming with the back pressure. Pickering now finding in the last 2 minutes a string of possession, but hasn't really been past half. Headed back into the feet of McLean. Now Lavarias. Here's Smythe. Out wide for Marunas, looking to go one-on-one with Scott. She cuts in on her left, trying to find the feet of Zumpano. Came all the way to Bertram on the far side, and she gets it past the halfway line. Here's Hellwig. Marunas. The ball played looking for Smythe was just too far in front of her, and coming across with force was Ashlyn Doyle. Maybe a bit forceful, but not nearly enough to call it for a foul. As we'll go out for a goal kick, and that will be the end of the night for Josie Jones, who will hand over the armband to Beto. And to replace her is Safira Potter, another young up-and-coming player for Pickering in their program, 17 years of age. Just one appearance in OPL this season with the first team against Hamilton United last month. She played just 4 minutes. She'll have a little bit more than that here tonight with just under 15 to play. Head coach Francesco Catharines has been happy with his starting 11 so far. Ready now is Maya Janest, who may be coming in just to add some extra legs to keep the pressure up front, but has not really gone to his bench much, just the one substitution so far. Hellwig couldn't find a target. Beto looking over the top now as it's flicked on by Potter. Gallo able to chase it down. We'll look to find Potter quickly as she gets it in with the throw. Cleared away by Lavarias. Now McLean. Bouncing ball. Zumpano got the first touch, but was outnumbered with both Pickering central defenders in on her. Smythe. Now McLean. Battaglini. And Paris just overran the pass. Now Bertram. Pickering trying to find anything at their feet across the halfway line, but they haven't been able to do so. Fusillo quickly to the feet now, McLean. Fusillo just leaving that pass behind Paris as it goes out for a throw. Potter took a shot from Fusillo, and now comes away the substitute in Gallo, trying to find the other substitute recently just joining in Potter. Last touch off, Bertram will go out for St. Catharines throw. Rain coming down harder now for these final 11.5 minutes of the 90. Hasn't been many stoppages. I don't expect a lot of added time if it stays this way. Here's Di Pasquale. Her forward ball was cut out by Scott. Ontario Tech, third year, heading into her senior season. Another player who's been often with the first team, 17 appearances with the OPL2 side. Here's Gallo, now trying to get it into the box. The sliding challenge from Di Pasquale shuts that down. And now the second substitution for Roma getting ready is Maya Genest. Will find herself at the halfway touchline. Looks as though she'll be coming in for Ariana Zumpeno momentarily, but a corner to come for Pickering. Whipped in tight towards the front post, but was not in play and did not harm the goal of Emma Hendries. So now the substitution will be made. It will be Kate Smythe, rather, who will be replaced. Smythe scoring in that semifinal. She played all 90 minutes in her last 2 matches, but will come away from today without a goal, but will certainly be happy with her performance and how she's now helped put her team in a position where they're leading by 2. Maya Genest, a rookie for Brock last season. One of the younger players on this Roma side. Paris has taken it away in a dangerous position from McConnell. And a dangerous shot from a tight angle. Left-footed attempt from Paris. She's already got a goal in the game. And just testing Thornton that time. He was able to parry it away for a corner. Marutis will take. And that one not testing the Pickering defense as it goes out for a goal kick. Genest making her 13th appearance of the season, Hamilton, Ontario native. 3 starts she's had this year. In her last 2, she had scored 3 goals on the season for her. She came off the bench playing just 20 minutes in the semifinal. Given more trust by Francesco Carriero to help shore out this win. It's going to be a Pickering throw as it was last touch off Roma. Beto looking for Gallo. She brought it down well. Genest had come across to double team, but she committed the foul. Three-1 the scoreline. St. Catharines leading. Less than 10 now to play. Ball looping in towards the penalty area. Di Pasquale away. A distance effort was wide of the right post by Ashlyn Doyle. Or that was Bertram, rather. And Pickering really in desperate times now. Running out of time to try and get 2 goals back now after Demi Marutis had given St. Catharines a 2-goal lead, and now to surely finish it up, Zumpeno slots it in for Roma, and that surely is the OPL3 Cup in the hands of Roma after an incredible regular season, losing just in the OPL Cup this year. They're looking to complete their invincible regular season with an OPL trophy, and that might just have done it. 4-1 the score now. Zumpeno with great feet to get herself past Doyle, and the composure in front of goal to just slot it with the inside of the foot around Thornton. And surely that's enough for Francesco Carriero's team to hold on to now. The rain really falling here in Vaughan. And the game falling away from Pickering as well. But they've won a free kickoff of Carlson on the far side. Readying it now is McConnell, who stands over it. Pickering needing to hurry things up, really. And that's a ambitious effort from distance. And more substitutions to come for the side behind now. Just after that goal was scored, Ariana Chin coming in for Sophia Woods. And now a goalkeeper substitution. This will be the end of the evening for London Thornton. And coming in to replace her is Reese Mach, a Bowmanville, Ontario native, class of 2027. Has named into the side for the last 2 matches, has not featured in a game yet this season. Already committed to Eastern Washington in Division I NCAA, and she'll get the last few minutes of this match. Here's Beto on the throw, looking long over the head of Hellwig. Di Pasquale trying to let it run, and she was able to do so in the battle with Potter. Here's Marunas. Almost lost possession of the ball. She did give it away to Chin now. Pickering looking to go in behind, chasing for it, but always a little bit in front. And too much to ask that time for Carlson, and the ball from Cardinal. Pickering has used all their substitutions. And they're running out of time. Less than 4 minutes in the 90. A 3-goal lead to come back from. Roma has dominated in the second half. It was really tight in the first 45. Both teams throwing bows at each other, each getting a goal. It was competitive, but it's really shown Roma's experience here tonight in their ability to take chances when they can. Another substitution coming in now for Roma. Christina Solsa will come in. Solsa just one other OPL3 appearance, coming back on May 3rd against Waterloo, and that only points that Roma had lost all season at 3-3 thriller of a draw. She played 15 minutes in that game, and now will come in for the final seconds. That ball was whizzed across by Demi Marodis, but nobody for Roma able to get on the back end of it. So Solesa will replace Zumpano, who just scored the 4th goal for St. Catharines moments ago. What a campaign she has had in her first season with Roma. 12 goals on the campaign. Solesa now McLean. Touch was just away from her body, and it's given away to Potter. Now a chance to counter for Pickering, but Lavarias getting back to slow it down. And she did just enough, but committed the foul, and another booking coming out, and it's going to go to Haley Lavarias. St. Catharines just a minute and a half away from lifting the trophy here tonight. Celebrations already happening on the far side in the stands here at Zanction Automotive Center. Pickering look like they'll just fall short and possibly getting theoretically double promotion between both their first and second team. It looks as though Roma will be playing in OPL2 next year after 2 seasons in OPL3. Where they found themselves in promotion contention through the first half of the season last year. They just could not carry that momentum into the back end, but with the new introductions they brought in this year, the trust in Francesco Carriero to continue his tactical side with his team, and a tough one to take that time from Riley Bertram, who just got it off the face. Will stop play, but will resume with Pickering in possession. And as I mentioned, Roma will come away with what they had strided for this season, and that was promotion. 3 minutes to be added on as we have hit the 90-minute mark. Maruda's coming back to win it for Roma. Paris now stuck between a couple of Pickering defenders. Here's Hellwig. Now Lavarias couldn't skip the challenge of Gallo, who came in from behind. Quickly played short to the feet of Marudas. Continuing to attack down this right flank. Marudas across the face of goal was originally dropped by Maich, but she was able to corral and hold on. Lavarias getting the first touch, but it comes out now to the wing for Gallo. Gallo looking to use her pace to get around Hellwig. Her attempt towards goal was blocked by Battaglini. McLean struggling to clear it away. Gallo back in possession. Great feat to get away from Hellwig and just get enough room to send one to the edge of the area, but it was Di Pasquale who got in the way, and it's out for a goal kick. Roma just waiting for the final whistle now. We've played about 1.5 minutes of this extra time. Dominating second half performance to end what's been a historic campaign for Roma this year. They'll end the season with, in the league, including playoffs, 15 wins, 1 draw. Falling out of the OPL Cup in the first round, and they never looked back. Going invincible for the rest of the season, and being the first team to do so in regular season play in the OPL3, formerly known as League 2. Di Pasquale away. Paris now has it at the halfway line. She loops it over for Marudas. Marudas will keep it in here on the near side touchline. Maybe a chance for one more for Roma. Marudas onto her left, comes across, and Paris full stretch, but unable to get anything on it. Certainly would have been the icing on the cake for Roma, and that's the final whistle. Roma dominates the second half. A 4-1 win over Pickering, and they see themselves win the OPL3 Cup and promotion to the OPL2 next season. Heartbreak in the final 2 months of last year. They took that and carried it into this season. Undefeated through 14 matches in the Southwest Division. They win their semifinal 5-1, and they come here and dominate again. A 4-1 win, and Pickering just falling short from a double promotion season from both their first and second team on the women's side. And Roma will lift the trophy here in Vaughan at the Zanction Automotive Center. a perfect way to end for their incredible season. And their 2026 campaign ends with silverware, their first cup as the women's program for St. Catharines Roma. And now the cup to come be presented to the winners here tonight. The Roma faithful getting their flowers as the team comes across to thank them for their support. Coming all the way from St. Catharines, Ontario here to Vaughan and supporting their team. So with that being said, we'll send it now down to the fields for the medal ceremony as well as the trophy presentation. I'll step aside for now and we'll rejoin you after. So the silver medals handed out to Pickering FC. And what cannot be held to a disappointing season. It was a very strong 2026 campaign for them. 11 wins in regular season, 34 points, finishing second in the Northeast. The upset against Woodbridge, an undefeated team handing them their first loss, winning on penalties, and what was an exciting game to find them in the final, just falling short. And we'll finish second in OPL3 this season. A big congratulations to them. And now that'll open the gold medal ceremony for St. Catharines Roma. can't do that, it's him. So Demi Marunas named MVP for tonight's final. And now the trophy presentation. Emma Hendry, the captain, will take first charge and first grasp of the cup. A shot worth 1,000 words. So much blood, sweat, and tears throughout this 2026 campaign. An invincible year for St. Catharines Roma. They finish it off with the OPL3 Cup and promotion to the OPL2 next season. From everyone watching at home, thanks for tuning in here on YouTube on OPL TV. My name is Noah Vogel, your champions of the OPL3 Cup, St. Catharines Roma. From myself, from Vaughan, Ontario, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.